Namaskar. Today we will discuss about rags. Rag is a very unique concept of Indian classical music, which is not really present in any other genre in world music. This is very unique and very old as well. This concept is there both in Hindustani as well as Carnatic classical music. Let us first discuss about the history of evolution of rags. How did rags come about? How did they get formed initially? Rags have been there in different names initially, now for about 2500 years in Indian music traditions. And this can go to almost 5th, 6th century BC when rags in a different name called Gram rags and then later jatis were present in Indian classical music. And then slowly by the 2nd century AD, this word rag came into being. And rags specifically were practiced from this time onwards. For another 400-500 years, this concept was materializing. And by the 7th, 8th century, rags were really progressing well and they were being practiced all over. Therefore, in one of the very important treatises of Indian classical music, which is Matang's Brihadeshi, rags have been mentioned in a much detailed manner. As I said, that initially rags were known as jatis, and then these jatis gave way to this particular term rag. How do you define rag? How do you explain rag? Our Shastra say, Ranjayate iti ragah. That which pleases is a rag. That means any melody that is very aesthetic or very pleasing can be known as a rag. I will just explain this to you in a much simpler form. We all know that we have 7 pure or Shuddha notes and 5 additional or Vikrit notes. So all put together we have 12 notes in the classical music system. And in these 12 notes we practice music. Rather, the whole globe practices music in these 12 notes. Now, what is specific about the concept of rag is the fact that in a melody or in a composition at a time, not all 12 notes are used. Only a few are used out of these 12. Let me explain this to you in a simpler form. In our kitchens, we generally have a good spread of 30-40 spices, but we do not use all of them in our preparations. So when we cook one curry, we have a specific set of spices that we use. In another curry, we use another set of spices. And this is exactly how rags are also conceptualized. So all 12 notes are not used at one point of time. Rather, a set of notes that gel well and create a beautiful mood are used in one melody, and that melody then comes to be known as a rag. For example, these are the 7 notes. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. Now in this, if I delete ma and ni and use only 5 notes, there'll be a different melody which will be created. Let me just hum it for you. Sa re ga pa dha sa, sa dha pa ga re sa. Now in a series of 7 notes, I have deleted these 2. I'm not using ma and ni. These 2 notes I'm not using. So let me now elaborate these 5 and you will find a strange mood which is being created by these sounds or swars. Sa ga re sa dha sa re ga re ga pa ga, dha pa ga re, dha ga re, sa re ga pa da, dha ga pa, pa ra sa, sa dha pa ga re ga ma. Now you see, this ma was rather interfering in the melody that I was, before that, what I was presenting. Now this is exactly what happens when we use undesired notes in a rag, and hence we like to stick to one particular combination while singing one rag. So this particular combination, which is known as Bhupali in Hindustani classical music or Mohanam in Carnatic classical music, is a set of notes of 7 notes, but you delete 2 notes out of it.